Last year's Honor 200 made waves by offering top-tier photography at a wallet-friendly price. With its dedicated 2.5x telephoto lens and the impressive Studio Harcourt portrait mode, it carved out a niche for budget-conscious photography fans. Now its successor has arrived, skipping the Honor 300 name entirely, and Honor is taking a different path. The Honor 400 ditches the telephoto lens in favor of a powerful 200-megapixel main camera. More surprisingly, it launches at a lower price, just £399.99. So, has Honor managed to deliver the perfect balance of value and performance under £400? Let's dive in. Design. Honor has reworked the phone's design this year. Gone are the soft curves of the Honor 200. Instead, the Honor 400 features a completely flat display and rear panel, along with flat edges that give off serious iPhone 16 or Galaxy S25 Plus vibes. Only this one cost far less. Despite the mid-range price tag, the Honor 400 feels like a flagship in hand. The glass back has a smooth, matte finish, while the frame, though plastic, could easily pass for metal. The phone is lightweight at 184 grams, but feels dense and premium. The Midnight Black version I tested resists fingerprints impressively, while Desert Gold and Meteor Silver options offer more visual flair. The redesigned camera module is another standout. Gone is last year's awkward oval bump, replaced by a sleeker, more elegant layout reminiscent of Huawei's Pura 70 series. And yes, there's now an IP65 rating, a welcome addition for those worried about rain or splashes. Even better, Honor's Super Rainproof Touch ensures the screen remains responsive in wet conditions. Display. The Honor 400 screen is a delight. The 6.55-inch OLED panel offers a buttery smooth 120Hz refresh rate and an ultra-bright 5000 nits peak brightness. It's vibrant, sharp, 1200 by 2664, and handles HDR content like a champ. There's a serious focus on eye health too, with support for 3840Hz PWM dimming, AI defocus mode, low blue light, and even motion sickness relief features. If you stare at your phone all day, this screen's got your back. Dual stereo speakers round out the media experience. They're crisp and richer than most mid-range offerings, though not the loudest. Crank them up and you'll unlock 200% high volume mode, but you might still want a Bluetooth speaker for your next party. Performance. Inside, the Honor 400 runs on the same Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 chip as last year. It's not cutting edge, but it's perfectly capable for everyday use, from social scrolling to video streaming to multitasking. The phone felt fast and responsive during testing. It comes with 8 GB of RAM and either 256 GB or 512 GB of storage. A big plus, as 128 GB just doesn't cut it anymore. Gaming, however, exposes its limits. Titles like Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero run fine at medium settings, 30 frames per second, or low, 60 frames per second, but don't expect flagship gaming performance. Camera. Gone is the telephoto lens, but in its place is a massive 200-megapixel main sensor. It's the same one used for zoom on flagship phones like the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, now repurposed as the primary shooter here. The results? Fantastic detail and clarity, especially in good lighting. Sure, you won't get the same zoom compression or macro magic as a true telephoto lens, but the sensor produces natural bokeh, and Studio Harcourt mode adds a professional touch to portraits. Honor adds some AI muscle too. AI Super Zoom kicks in at 15x and above, sending shots to the cloud for enhancement. It's not flawless, but it's surprisingly convincing, especially for a phone at this price. The ultra-wide lens is unchanged and underwhelming, especially in low light. The 50-megapixel selfie camera does well in daylight, but lacks autofocus and struggles in darker settings. You can shoot up to 4K at 30 frames per second on all lenses, but 60 frames per second requires dropping to 1080p. Stabilization is solid, but lens switching while recording is a bit clunky. battery. With a 6,000 mAh battery, the Honor 400 outpaces most phones in its class. It uses new silicon carbon battery tech, and the result is 2 full days of usage on a single charge, and consistently. Charging is a bit slower than last year, now at 66 watts instead of 100 watts, and there's no charger included in the box in Europe. But plug it into a proper adapter and it'll go from 0 to 75% in around 30 minutes. Still plenty fast for daily use. Software. Running Magic OS 9 on Android 15. The Honor 400 isn't your average Android experience. There's no app drawer by default, and the UI feels a bit like iOS, especially with features like dynamic island-style widgets and standby mode. It's quirky but polished, and AI takes center stage. The biggest trick? Google's new image-to-video tool debuting first on this phone. Take any photo, hit a button, and out comes a 5-second video. Surreal, sometimes weird, but impressively realistic. Honor's own AI tools are more practical. Object erasers, outpainting for expanding images, reflection removal, and even deepfake protection during video calls. Perhaps most impressively, Honor now promises 6 years of Android OS upgrades and security patches. A massive leap from last year's 3/4 promise, and just 1 year short of Samsung and Google. Price and availability. Launched 22nd May 2025. £399.99, 256 gigabytes. £449, 512 gigabytes. Available from Honor, Amazon, Currys, Very, and major UK carriers. You'll find the Honor 400 across the UK and Europe, but, as usual, not in the US. Contracts will be available via 3, EE, Vodafone, O2, and Tesco Mobile. Verdict. Should you buy the Honor 400? The Honor 400 is a standout mid-range phone that offers flagship feel and clever AI tricks at a bargain price. The screen is gorgeous, battery life is superb, and the 200-megapixel main camera delivers sharp, detailed shots in all the right conditions. Honor is clearly aiming at the Google Pixel 9a and Samsung Galaxy A56, and in many ways it comes out on top, with better specs, more storage, and faster charging. The Nothing Phone 3a and Poco F7 Pro are also solid alternatives, especially for gamers. But if you're after a stylish phone with strong photography chops and a sprinkle of futuristic AI magic, all for around £400. The Honor 400 is one of the most compelling options on the market today. That's it for my Honor 400 review. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts about the Honor 400 in the comments below. See you in the next video.